Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Abby. If you're just joining me for the first time, thank you very much for stopping by, and I hope you consider subscribing by clicking the subscribe button down below. And when you do so, do not forget to turn on your notification bell as well. That way you get notified whenever there's a video on this channel, and there'll be a new video every week. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you very much for coming back. I really do appreciate your support. So today, guys, I am so excited. I was talking to a couple of my friends some days back, and we were feeling quite nostalgic about childhood days, growing up and all of that. And it really just spiraled me back into the 90s when we were growing up. And I felt like I could go in a time machine all the way back to the 90s. If you were born in the 80s and your formative years were in the 90s, just raise up your hand. Let me see you. 90s gang. So I decided I'm going to be sharing with you guys some of the things that I absolutely loved about growing up in Nigeria, growing up in the 90s in Nigeria. So today I'm going to be focusing on TV and entertainment as it was for us growing up in Nigeria in the 90s. You know how when we come back from school and everybody is racing to be home before 4 o'clock, because you know that 4 o'clock the TV stations are going to come on at 4 o'clock, and you hear dun 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 with those multicolored lines. With those multicolored lines, you have to wait for the national anthem to be over, and you wait for them to do their broadcast spiel, and then of course go into the programs for the day. This was very common with the NTA channels. Speaking of NTA channels, do you guys remember this tune? Ta-da, 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 ta-da. Oh my goodness. That tune was so classic. I think that was a very memorable part of our childhood. Now, speaking about NTA, there were two of my favorite NTA channel stations. I grew up in Lagos, by the way, so a lot of things I'm going to be talking about were the things that I experienced when I grew up in Lagos. Now, who remembers NTA channel 10 and NTA 2 channel 5? Now, guys, don't tell me that you don't know or you don't remember NTA's theme songs. NTA channel 10's theme song was NTA Channel 10, the station for the nation. Tune to us every day. We offer you the best. Clear vision, widest reach, fine programs on NTA Channel 10. Please don't ask me how I remember all these songs. I just do, and I thoroughly love the fact that I do, because sometimes I remember and it just makes my heart joyful when I remember, my childhood days. And not to forget NTA 2 channel 5 as well. Your recharge station is the first and the best. Something. Reaching out to you with excellent quality. Stay tuned to us. Entertainment, information, and clear signal. And when we're talking about station, we're the best. NTA 2 channel 5. That song was a vibe. My younger brother and I will actually wait for that theme song to always play, and when it does, you see us giving the vibe as though we were rapping and we were vibing along to the tune. Oh, those were the days, man. Speaking about TV channels, I'm sure you guys still remember Clapperboard, or some of you still remember Clapperboard. Galaxy Television and DBN, those were the stations to watch then if you wanted to be hip, good times, man. Now, speaking of TV as well, can we just throw it back a little bit to some of our classic 90s TV commercials. My goodness. I don't know if you remember. Oh no, super blue. Oh no, what is bright and or if you remember, children, it's breakfast time. Breakfast time is plantain time. Plantain, plantain, dun, 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 for the reach of bud. Something like that, This was my all-time favorite. The Joy soap advert. Hey, Joy girl, something. Oh, dun, 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 dun. You got that Joy girl quality. That Joy girl was so pretty, and I loved her outfit in that commercial. I always used to look forward to the commercials back in this. There's so many of them. So many of those adverts. The good thing is some of those adverts are actually on the internet. So, sometimes when you feel nostalgic, you can just watch them and just feel like you are all the way back in the 90s when we were growing up. Those were good times. Speaking of entertainment, guys, I want to make reference to some magazines that we used to read back then. If you used to read Int magazines, don't lie, just raise up your hand. I'm sure a lot of us used to read Int magazine then, although we would read it discreetly because of some PG-13 content that were in the magazine back then. But it also had a lot of society gist and all of those things that we could relate to as adolescents and teenagers back then. So we would definitely look for a way to read them. My dad is probably going to watch this video. Dad, if you're watching this video, I love you. I was a child then, but now I'm an adult. I used to buy Int magazine sometimes with my lunch money, and I would never take it home. I would always leave it in school or give it to a friend. If I take it home and my mom saw it, I don't want to be explaining anything, so I would just leave it with a friend or leave it in school, and then the following day collect it back, continue to read until it was done. But those were the days when, and then not also forgetting this cartoon magazine, Ikebe Super. Oh goodness, I don't know if you guys remember this magazine, but this magazine, the illustration was on point for its time. That magazine was so rich, it was borderline comedy, so it was always fun to read. And that brings me to Ovation magazine. See, when we were in secondary school, if you people don't have Ovation magazine in your house, please, you can't sit with us. You can't sit with us. What are you talking about? You had to have Ovation magazine. It was bragging rights back then. It's just so funny, to think back now and remember all of those times and how much those things meant to us. Now, going back to TV programs, do you guys remember Children's Variety? Here's a song that we sing on Children's Variety. And then there was also Kiddie Vision 101. It is time for Kiddie Vision 101. And there was also Speak Out, Speak Out, Speak Out for us to hear. Speak out, speak out, speak out for Nigeria. Speak out. Classics, man, classics. There was Junior Debates. There was Storyland, learn some music or a tale, Storyland, bring your friends along. You had to do this now. You had to do the papa. Why? You had to do the papa. The papa was the vibe of the song. And there was also Tales by Moonlight. Goodness. Those were the times. For my Yoruba folks, there was also this program, Feyi Kogbon. My mom used to watch that program every Sunday, and I'm like, what is it now? Eventually, when I started watching it with her, I actually learned a lot of things. It was like the Yoruba version of what Tales by Moonlight used to be then. And not forgetting Sunday Rendezvous on NTA channel 10 every Sunday. I think it was 11 a.m. or 12 noon. I can't quite remember now. But you guys, man. I mean, speaking about it now, I'm getting really joyful. I'm getting really joyful talking about all of those classic programs. Good times, man. And then now to TV series. We were spoiled for choice, and this was on terrestrial TV, by the way. This was before, we had the luxury of cable TV and all of what we have now. First and foremost, who remembers this tune? Last week on Checkmate. Nobody can tell me they did not love Checkmate. Come on, what are you on about? Even if you didn't like the series, you had to watch it because of Shego Kadri, also known as RMD. That was RMD's first, I think, that was RMD's national introduction to us. And it was such a bloke back then. You had to watch it just to see RMD on your TV screen. And of course, my ever so lovely Ego Boyo, who was an Astro. It was also fun to watch the Fugees, Kule Bantefa, my Beg for a Chief. Yes, it was also fun to watch his family in the series as well. Checkmate was an absolute classic. And also, do you remember I need to know that education is the key? Something. Well, I mean, when we were in secondary school, we had to watch I Need to Know, right? That starred Funke Akindele. It was very popular amongst secondary school students at the time. And also, New Masquerade. Eddie said, yo. Anyone said, dear. Oh goodness, New Masquerade was full of nonsense English. Chief Zebuzai's English. You'd have Ovleria talking about her own English, and then this other guy, Gringori. Apparently, what was pronounced as Gringori then is actually Gregory. It was broken down into some funny syllables, and they decided to call it Gringori. There was Fortunes, there was Candlelight, there was Agbarala. Then you can't tell me you can't remember Batanga now. Come on, let's keep it real. Agbarala was a Christian drama series, and everyone was watching it. There was so many to choose from. Now let's talk about cartoons, shall we? Who remembers Dodo, the kid from outer space? Dodo, something. There was Danger Mouse, Voltron, Defender of the Universe. Oh, gosh. Good times, I tell you, good times. And there was Terra Ox, Super Ted, Chuckleheads. There were so many of them to choose from. Now, going into classic movies of the 90s. Who remembers Rattlesnake? Who remembers Died Wretched? Who remembers Diamond Ring? Who remembers Glamour Girls? Who remembers Domitila? Do you remember Igodo? And do you remember Out of Bounds? The Maxima Tutu. Oh God. We had National Arts Theatre. If we had any play, any movies, you would have to go to National Arts Theatre to watch it. We then started to have video clubs. You had to be a member of a video club in your area, right? I can never ever stop talking about the 90s. The 90s was so rich with so many things. Now guys, this is a part 1. I'm coming back with a part 2, so stay tuned. If you watched my video up to this point, please subscribe to my channel. Please subscribe to my channel, and thank you very much for your support. I'll see you in my part 2, guys. Take Take care now.